I don't want this video to come off as me doing any concern trolling or anything like that, but I genuinely feel for Mavericks fans right now, because for the last 35 days or so, they have just been put in hell for no fucking reason whatsoever. They were enjoying a nice car ride on the side of the highway by the coastline, and then all of a sudden they are just put on a highway to hell because Nico Harrison decided that Luka Doncic, based on all the reporting that has happened since the trade, is just an affront to everything Nico Harrison stands for, apparently. And so he decided to kill the Mavericks' future for the next 10 to 15 years. And it has just gotten worse and worse, and then it culminates with a Kyrie Irving season-ending ACL injury. Torn ACL, tore it last night against the Sacramento Kings. And I just feel for Mavs fans, man. Like, I could say as a Sixer fan who has experienced the entire season just being nothing but hell, for Mavs fans to all of a sudden just be put in that type of purgatory, it's just fucked up and it's shameful. And maybe one of the reasons why I'm also mad at this entire situation is because, well, it speaks to a larger point and a larger problem that I have with society with rich people ruining shit. That's a video for another day. But Mavs fans are now just put in a situation where this era of basketball could possibly be over. The short window that Nico Harrison was looking for could be over. And if it was a season-ending injury to Kyrie Irving with Luka Doncic on the team, you could just be like, well, okay, the season might be over. We're not going back to the finals this year. Kyrie Irving's probably going to come back late next season. So let's just retool around Luka, wait for Kyrie to come back, and then we'll try it again in the finals in 2026. But now, with no Luka, Anthony Davis already injured, and Anthony Davis, I want to be fair to him, has been relatively healthy the last few seasons. I do not think he has deserved the street clothes moniker that the TNT guys have constantly put on him. But let's recount everything that's happened. Nico Harrison trades Luka. Then he trades Quentin Grimes, who was playing awesome for the Mavericks and has been awesome with the Sixers. And I hope to God that the Sixers retain him on his restricted free agency contract this summer. For Caleb Martin, who is also hurt, valuable contract. I think Caleb Martin will be fine in the long run. But then Anthony Davis re-injures himself in his debut. Derek Lively's already out. Daniel Gafford gets hurt. People just start dropping like flies. And then Kyrie Irving tears his ACL last night. And that's one where if you're doing the shortened window thing, an injury like this is more catastrophic than what it needs to be. And for Mavs fans, I just feel bad for them. Because for 25 years, and I say this as somebody that typically likes the Dallas Mavericks, like Dirk Nowitzki was one of my favorite players to watch. And I absolutely rooted for Dirk in the 2011 finals. I actually picked the Mavericks in 6 in that series when everybody was picking the Heat. So I am a respecter of the Dallas Mavericks, and I am a respecter of what Mark Cuban has built there for the last, what was it? When did he buy the franchise in the late 90s? What was it, like 98, 99? And what he has built since then. And it has all just been blowtorched in a matter of 45 days. And really, you could have seen this coming when Mark Cuban sold his majority stake, because it's clear this billionaire ownership group does not, 1, get the fan base, 2, even respect their own organization and culture that has been built there prior to them buying the team. When the owner made, I forgot which member of the owner group said the comments about Luka post-trade, but he basically said, like, we want guys that work hard like a Kobe, like a MJ, and he failed to mention the guy whose statue is outside of American Airlines Arena, Dirk. You would think, if you're the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, you would at least mention Dirk first, right? And that just shows how disconnected they are. Like Nico doing this clown shit, like showing up to Crypto.com Arena for the Lakers-Mavs game and watching Luka warm up in the back looking like a supervillain. Bro, you just killed an entire franchise's future. I don't know why you're trying to look so cool. Like, I'm sorry, man. This trade was one of the dumbest fucking trades in NBA history. It continues to be. And it blows my mind that even some people, even if you are, let's say you're on the far end of the anti-Luka Doncic spectrum, where you acknowledge he's a great player, but let's say you agree generally with Nico's reasons for trading Luka. Like, yes, he's out of shape. Yes, he complains to the ref a lot, etc., etc. Even you can admit that the future was at least looking better having a 25-year-old superstar there and having multiple cracks at the apple than this shit. Because yes, no one can predict injuries, right? But you set yourself up for catastrophic injuries to mean more in a situation like this. So yes, it actually does kind of matter. Because now Kyrie Irving's what? He's 32. He's going to be rehabbing, and that's going to take 12 months. And not only that, he injured it in March, so you're probably expecting him back in March of next year. But who knows if the Mavericks will even be contending by then. So you might as well call next season as a wash too for Kyrie. And then what's going to happen after that? You don't own your picks either, by the way. Actually, hold up really quick. I'm going to look up the Mavericks' future draft picks. So the Mavericks own their 2 first-round draft picks in 2025 and 2026, and then they don't have control of their other first-round draft picks in the future for at least until 2031. And so now with this injury, it kind of speeds up the clock on how fast this era could come to a close. And it's just a really shitty situation for the Mavericks. At least as, you know, the Sixers are boned for the next few years, but at least there's stuff to look at where you could be like, okay, we could still salvage something out of this, right? I feel like the Mavericks have just taken the baton from the Sixers in record time because this looks like hell. And then on top of that, they're raising season ticket prices. Like, I didn't expect this. They were just in the finals last year. I did not even think that there was a possibility that the season could turn out like this. Really just shows that shit can change in the NBA super fast. Like, I don't think it can be underscored that this injury is actually devastating. Yes, I feel bad for Kyrie. He was actually awesome for the Mavericks since he got there. And he seemed to have found his peace, seems to be really comfortable in Dallas, has been balling out. And so for this to happen sucks. And then it also just sucks for Mavs fans because this is just another pile-on for what the fuck has happened the last, 35 days. Yeah, Nico Harrison is the definition of a basketball terrorist. And the Adelson family, or whatever the fuck they're called, they're like the definition of the new type of owner where they just have an obscene amount of money and they just don't care. And they're looking at something as a cash cow, which I guess is how casino owners run shit anyway. But this sucks for the fans, man. This should not have happened. They should not be in this position. So I feel for Mavs fans. Actually, I just thought of a poll question. If you could just leave a comment below with your answer, that'd be great. But which team has had the worst season? Is it the Suns? Is it the Sixers? Or is it the Mavs? I'm sure I'm leaving 1 or 2 teams out, but just in general, when you're talking about teams with expectations or some form of expectations, those are the 3 that immediately come to mind for who it would be up for a hypothetical award for most hellish season or season most from hell, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, leave a comment with your answer below. Mavs fans, I feel for you. I'm sorry. And yeah, I'm with you. Fuck Nico Harrison.